So today's an exciting video for me because while there's definitely been some buffed Doctor Strange content put out already, today is the first day we're allowed to put 7-star Strange content out, and this guy was one of my favorite champions I've ever been able to play. He was an absolute blast to use, just a super fun, super special spammy playstyle, and I just had a really good time. And there's a lot of fights in this video that I'm really excited to show off, but this might be the most excited I've been for a new champ going into the Titan Crystal in a very long time, because I want to get this guy as soon as I can. And yeah, he is treated like a regular champ release, so just like how Cyclops was put in the Titan Crystal right when it switched over after he got buffed, Strange is going to be the same way. And I will be rank 4ing, Sig 200ing this guy as soon as I can get him on the live server, because there's a lot of stuff he can do. He's an absolute blast to play. Yes, he does want to fight champions who gain buffs, and he is going to feel weaker if they don't, but that's fine. I'm still going to have a great time doing that, because let's go ahead and fight some Cosmic Champs. And we're going to start against Imperiosa here. And I'm just going to show the playstyle where you literally just spam special ones, and that's it. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves in our Orange Blessing, which is the it is the one that's going to give you extra attack on your special one, which is your damage special, really. So we just get into that blessing and then power gain our way through multiple special ones, and then eventually the opponent just drops. You do a bunch of burst damage on all your attacks, but if you are dropping your special one in the Orange Blessing, it does even more attack rating. And yeah, that's Imperiosa down 39 seconds. But we'll go ahead and fight Maestro next. And Maestro, it's a little annoying because when you nullify against Maestro, he is going to gain extra Neutronium, and Doctor Strange is nullifying a lot. As you can see here, he's placing placebos on the opponent for them to get nullified, for him to get a bunch of extra power for. But it's fine because Strange doesn't really care about Maestro getting his glancing or anything, because he's just spamming specials so much during the fight. That's really all he cares about doing, and Maestro can't glance special attacks. So what we're just doing is literally spamming the special 2, because we're placing so many buffs and getting so much power back that we can just easily do that. And then once I finally am able to drop the special 1, which again is the more significant damage special, we can just go ahead and start spamming it once again. And that's just a really easy fight. Like, Maestro wasn't able to do anything because we're in our special attack animation for 80% of the fight, which is kind of my favorite thing about Strange, is that there's barely any opportune time for the opponent to do anything in the fight, because we're just in Strange's special animations for almost all of it. And here I'm going to go ahead and fight Serpent, and we're dropping the special 2 in the purple one, which is your ramp up blessing, basically, because in this one, it is going to increase the ability accuracy that you have, so it's going to make it to where those placebos that you're placing on the opponent are almost guaranteed to be nullified instead of having a 60% chance to be. And also the special 2 gets secondary effects for if you're in the purple one that make it easier for you to be able to ramp up those arcane fonts, which the arcane fonts increase the potency of your burst damage by 3% each. So right now with 44 of them, that means we are doing 132 extra percent damage on all those burst damages, which are really good against Serpent, especially because his Dread reduces the potency of that stuff. So similar to how Paviter Prabarker is really good against Serpent because he's increasing the potency of his burst damages, Doctor Strange is going to do the same thing if you're ramping up those arcane fonts properly, which is why you use the special 2 in the purple phase early on. So here we are fighting Dark Phoenix, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to check right now. I believe Doctor Strange has pretty good base energy resist, which is partially why he's doing very well against this matchup. It's kind of slow, and it's not like a very fast one, but it works very well. And he does have 20% energy resistance, which is not crazy. Like, Kushala's is 40% and stuff, but it's still good. And again, we're just in the special animation so much with Strange that What's happening is Dark Phoenix just isn't really having the opportunity to drop the special 2s, drop the special attacks very much, and try and stop me and do a bunch of damage to me. So here I drop my special 2 after she drops hers, and that is the first time we are getting a Nova Flame on us, and we're of course going to get it from the final phase because he does not have a way of stopping her immortality. But again, with the amount of specials he's throwing, he's just controlling the fight so much that she is not able to drop her special attacks very often, because I don't need to bait that many, because just so much of the fight is in my special animations. So we only get 2 Nova Flames on us, and we're going to finish the fight at just below 90% health. However, it did take 80 seconds, which isn't going to win you very many BG's rounds unless you make a really good defensive play, but good defensive plays definitely exist, and that's a matchup you can still win with. And it is going to feel much better in Alliance War, I think, where time matters less. And I also think that matchup could have been a lot faster. Like, I don't think I played it incredibly opportune. Like, I think I had an attempt that I recorded that was just over 60 seconds in that matchup. And I don't know why I didn't record it. It was just when I was practicing with him or something, and that one just wasn't as good. But I do think that's a matchup that is worth doing. Maybe less so in BG's. It's still pretty fun, though. And here we're fighting Mr. Sinister. I'm doing the ramp up blessing because it's against Sinister and we don't have class advantage in this matchup. But I also want to show off another thing, and that's the fact that when you're in the purple blessing, you have 100% increased ability accuracy, so all of your abilities are going to go through that concussion that Mr. Sinister is placing on us. And of course, Doctor Strange is just in his special animations for the majority of the fight, so there's very little threat that Sinister has left. And we're also not relying on crit damage, which means that it doesn't really matter that Doctor Strange will still be subject to the regen that Sinister has from crits, because all of our damage comes from that red. And yeah, we did that fight in under a minute, which is still pretty good. And now we're going to go fight Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom isn't a 7-star yet, but it's only a matter of time at this point. And I wanted to show off the block regen a good bit, because Doctor Strange will regen 60% of the damage you took on block, and 80% if it's a well-timed block. And if you are in the blue phase, which we are very rarely in because it's not like an amazing blessing to be in, because it doesn't really help you ramp and it doesn't increase your attack rating like the other two do, but it's a very good defensive blessing, because if I was in the blue blessing when Dr. Doom went ahead and dropped his special 2 like he's about to, we would be regenning all of the damage we'd be taking on block, because I'm going to go ahead and read the ability real quick. It does give you 40% increased regeneration potency, and the bonus is doubled during the opponent's special attacks. So you would just regen all the block damage that Dr. Doom would do on his special 2. And just in general, because Dr. Doom, even on his basic attacks, they hit very hard in the block. So that's a very good blessing. I didn't really use it to block the special 2, because he did throw it when I wasn't expecting him to, but it would give you that free block regen if you wanted to do that. So we're fighting Nick Fury as the last fight before we get to our long fight showcase that we usually do. And the reason I'm fighting Nick Fury is because Nick Fury is a unique defender in the fact that he has 2 lives, and the reason I show Nick Fury for a lot of attackers is I want to see how permanent their ramp is, because when Nick Fury goes into second life, he's going to remove all passives and debuffs from himself. And in a lot of characters' cases, that completely kills your ramp. A champion like Guardian is just going to ramp up towards a special attack, and once he does that, then he's got to ramp up again, so he wouldn't be very good against Nick Fury. But if a champion has permanent ramp and ramp that's tied to themselves, then they're going to be very strong against Nick Fury. And that's something Doctor Strange is, because those arcane fonts are on him and they are permanent. They don't go away ever, unless you go to a new fight, of course. But it means that Doctor Strange's ramp is very good, because it's all controlled on his end of the fight, and it doesn't ever go away. You're not just like building to a damage special and then losing all your ramp. So I do like testing champs against Nick Fury to show how strong their ramp is for when health pools go up. And yeah, that's a good example of it. So Now we're going to go fight this 1.3 million health Nova to show off Doctor Strange in longer fights. And it's just a very simple way of doing it. Like, you're going to go and drop your special 2s in your purple one because, again, that is your ramp up blessing. Because it is giving you more arcane fonts on the Nullify, and it is making sure the Nullify is guaranteed, which it isn't always. It's a 60% chance. And then, yeah, it's just very good. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my special 2 here, and our arcane fonts cap at 100, so we do want to build at least close to that, and then go ahead and start doing special 1s in the orange phase once again. I do find it is sometimes difficult with Strange to get back to 1 bar of power because his power gain is just so strong, especially against champs who do have some natural nullify, or natural buffs to nullify, I should say. But if you are just removing the power from yourself during your heavy attack properly, then it's not that bad. So there, we do 16k bursts on the initial flames right there, and then on the second burst of flames we do 32k bursts, and those just mean we're doing really, really high damaging special 1s, and they're so spammable because we're getting power so quickly, and during our special attacks, it's all passive power gain, so you're not losing any uptime on getting power during your special animations, which is great. And that's Nova in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is really good. And I tested him against Necropolis Red Goblin as well, and it was a 5-minute fight, and that's an 8 million health boss. So, really solid stuff from Doctor Strange. As far as his meta score, I think he's going to be a decent PG's attacker, but nothing crazy because, yeah, he does ramp up. He's not like a really fast character, but he does nuke any Cosmic that isn't Dark Phoenix in under 1 minute, and probably closer to 45-50 seconds. And there are matchups that outside the Cosmic class that he will work for. I don't think he's incredible for anything outside the Cosmic class, as far as BG's speed goes. But Mr. Sinister was a good matchup, Nick Fury was a good matchup, and there are just going to be other ones that Strange is going to work for just fine. I think he's going to be pretty strong for Alliance War. I don't think anything crazy because he isn't immune to any debuffs, so he's not a Hazard Shift demon. And there are a lot of mystics that cover a lot of ground in Alliance War already, but he is going to be an attacker that a lot of people are just going to enjoy using if they have to deal with a Cosmic Champion on their path or something. So I do think he's got potential in that game mode, but long fights is where I think he's going to succeed the most because he is a very good Mystic for long fights, and there aren't that many that exist. Like Enchantress, which is my personal favorite long form attacker, is in the Mystic class, but no one else uses Enchantress on attack other than me, and there aren't any crazy long fight Mystic damage dealers other than like Absorbing Man sometimes and Kushala sometimes. But yeah, I think like if we get more long form content, I think Strange is going to cover the ground in the Mystic class very well. But we'll see if that happens. And then like as far as boss killing goes, like he'll probably be pretty good for any Cosmic bosses and even some outside the Cosmic class. Like if we get more EOP style content in the future, he'd be very good if we can get a nice Coliseum fight in the Cosmic class. He would have been very, very good against the Atom fight, I do believe. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love Strange, I can't wait to get him, and I hope you guys are also as excited about him as well. So, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.